All righty then, friends, it's Coach Mike here. I wanted to touch base with you and say good Saturday. It's not afternoon yet, getting close, but good day to you. And I hope that you are well in this season that we're now experiencing. Just wanted to give you a few words of encouragement. I wanted to encourage you because it's not the time to duck and run for cover. It is not the time to, I'm gonna stick my head under my covers and then just hope that all of this is a bad dream and the nightmare will be over when I wake up. No, this is the time when you actually begin to create. Hey, Lance. Hey, Jarvis. Want to say hello. Yeah, this is the time when you create. You create right now. This isn't the time to, oh gosh, the whole world is ending. According to scripture, this is not how the world's going to end. So you don't have to worry about that. What we're going through right now is Disneyland, maybe even Disney World compared to what's going to happen in the end days, right? So when it's done, when time ceases. So, hi, Michelle. Hi, Abigail. Listen, I want to encourage you. For some of you, Cindy Joe, how are you? Listen, this is the time for you to write that book, right? To write that script. This is time for you to do some cleaning. Some of you say, but I have no idea. This is the time to stay creative. Some of you say, but I don't have any ideas. What do I do? Listen, sometimes when you start cleaning, when you clean out even your garage. Now, I know that's a huge task. I don't even want to talk about our garage. You can't even walk in it without having to clear stuff away to create a footpath, right? But I'm looking forward to that day. I cleaned out the front of my front of the garage where the old weights, they were kind of rusting, and my cable system and stuff that my son was using. Now I'm using that because, of course, we can't keep our immune system strong because the gyms are closed. So I have to work out back. It's creative. That's where I get some of my ideas. When I'm cleaning, that's when I get some of my ideas. Some of you have been sitting on an idea for years and it keeps bugging you. It won't go away. You even ride around in your car and you see evidence of that idea and you need to do something about it. You have time, I imagine, unless you're still, you're one of the fortunate ones that didn't get laid off or lose your job or, temporarily on hold from your job. See, if you're one of the type that lost or, not working right now, man, you have time. Again, the book, I'm on my fourth book. Well, I wrote 4 books. I got to start my 5th book. It's called 28 Things. I actually have 51 things. But it's 28 things I shouldn't have learned in school, right? Very interesting book. Great for these times as well. But I'll talk about that later. See, I have to get started on my 5th book. I said before I pass away, before they pitch dirt on my face, I want to have written at least 8 books behind, right? It's part of my legacy. So I'm halfway there, got 4. Listen, work on it. Go to work, stay creative. It's easy right now to live in despair and I'm upset and I'm this and no, that's not going to help you. That won't help you. What you have to do is stay creative. I don't know exactly what your creative space is, but you have to jump into it. I've found so many holes in my business. See, now that I'm under stress, not stress, but not even duress really, but now that I'm being challenged right now in my business, right, because of this time and this business is essential and yours isn't. I wonder how come pot shops are essential? How come they're essential? Well, because people have to smoke weed for their back. No, you can chew edibles. You can chew edibles, right? The smoke, inhaling smoke, puts you at a higher risk for catching COVID because it damages the lungs and the respiratory. So it makes you more susceptible. Cigarettes, same thing. I'm wondering how come they didn't mandate that all of the pot shops, you can't sell anything that creates smoke. For people to ingest smoke, nobody's talking about this. Isn't that something? Nobody's mentioning the damage that cigarette smoke does to your lungs, right? and weed. Your body just wasn't made to breathe smoke, period. Nobody's talking about that. Why? Because the city makes revenue off of it. Now, believe me, if the city hadn't made it legal, oh, they would have shut it down right away, especially at this time, right? But they make revenue off of it. Not trying to demonize our public officials, but, it's just some things. If you're paying attention, you can't help but think about certain things, right? So if you're a pot smoker and a cigarette smoker, right now would be a great time for you to say, man, this is it. This is it. I don't want to make myself susceptible to COVID, right? Or Rona, right? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop smoking cigarette. I'm gonna just sweat through it, get through the agony of it, the nicotine and all that, and I'll go online and find some alternative methods so I can stop smoking and I can save my money on buying cigarettes. I can save my health. I can stop smoking weed, save my money on that. I mean, if you got back problems and you gotta chew edibles, okay, right? And some of you don't have anyone to tell you this. You keep yes people around you, or you just don't have people around you. And it might be a little easier for you to hear it from me because you don't have to answer to me, right? So you just have to answer to yourself, really, in the long run, no matter how many people you have around you. Because your friends can advise you and stuff, and you could just tell them, get in an argument with them, or I'm going home, or whatever, or get mad at them. I ain't talking to you for 3-4 days, right? Right? So sometimes, that's why people sit on the therapist couch, because therapists ain't gonna throw stuff in your face. They're not emotionally connected to you in that way, right? It's a professional relationship, not a personal one. So keep that in mind. Also, friends, clean your keyboard. Clean your keyboard. They say your computer keyboard and your hand device keyboards, right? Phones and stuff, but I'm mainly talking about your computer keyboard. They say it is dirtier than your toilet seat. This is what they claim, right? The underside of your toilet seat. So you need to clean that. Clean it. Clean your steering wheel. Take a white rag. Get yourself some of this good stuff. I like this. Microban. Right? I hear it's all over the place now. Microban. I like this stuff. Guess what attracted me to it in the commercial? See, I'm in the training actors how to do commercial business, right? So I have to notice what grabs my attention, right? This did, because it's blue. This is my favorite color, like royal blue. That grabbed me, and I like green too, right? So that grabbed my attention. And then it says 24-hour bacteria sanitization. That's what it says. Right? So supposedly, if you spray Microban on a surface, I got it from Walmart. There was another one there yesterday, but I left it for someone else because it's pretty much a full bottle. So if you spray a surface and wipe it down, and someone comes and touches that surface and has bacteria on their hands, which most people do, I imagine, some kind of bacteria, then it continues to sanitize that surface for 24 hours. That's what it says, right? And so hey, it's like, I don't think Lysol says that. So I said, let me give this stuff a try. Now it says fresh scent. See at the bottom there, fresh scent. Well, I don't know about all that. Let me put it this way. It smells like it works. It don't smell sweet and soft and like chocolate chip cookies, right? Smells like it works. So Microban. So, and then they have devices that you can wipes and stuff for electronics, but I don't know if they're antimicrobial. I don't know, right? You can find that out. Do a little bit of research. So also, okay, clean your keyboard, clean your steering wheel. Take a white rag. Steering wheel is filthy. Just put a little elbow grease on it, like Mama used to say, right? And my daddy too, right? And then look at that rag. You can be like, man, I've been driving all this time and wiping my nose and doing other stuff with my finger, putting my nose, and I've been touching my face and all that. And these areas here, the mucous membranes, are very susceptible to bacteria. So you want to keep your steering wheel nice and clean. Clean your toothbrush with a little bit of peroxide, and some say mouthwash, some say bleach or whatever. I don't know if I want to put bleach on my toothbrush for some reason. I mean, maybe it's totally fine, right? But I like peroxide, and some people use peroxide alone. Google it, just look it up. And then some people say a little bit of mouthwash, maybe something stronger like Listerine that has eucalyptus in it, something a little stronger, along with the hydrogen, the peroxide, right? And clean up your toothbrush. Or if you notice that you've had it for 3 months and 4 months, or the bristles are bending, well, it depends on how hard you brush, then you may say, hey, let me go and buy a new toothbrush. I don't think they're hoarding toothbrushes at the store. I don't think I've seen any footage of people hoarding toothbrushes. I'm buying 50 toothbrushes. That's what I'm doing. I don't think I've seen that. Okay, so great. Also, before I go, I want to run something by you. Listen, there are companies that are hiring. My son just got hired. He took a big jump in pay. He took a $6 an hour jump in pay. I don't want to give too much information away, but I'm very, very happy for my middle boy, John. It's the last talk show he is posting, but he got a great job with this guy that comes on the radio. I don't want to give too much of it away, but it's a very, very popular talk show radio host, and he's working with them. So great. That's going to be mid-April or so. So very happy for him. I'm pretty sure my daughter is going to get hired at a place because their job shut down. And so, because they do funny stuff, like my sons, when they were filling out applications for this book company, Vromans in Pasadena, they asked them, the application said, when can you start? And they wrote down in 15 minutes. That's a classic. And I think that's what got hired. That's what got them hired, right? Because they did get hired. One of my sons worked there for a minute and left, and then got a different job. And then my middle boy, John, who just got the great job with a huge jump in pay, nice jump in pay, he remained there for about, I don't know, maybe 2 years, if I remember correctly. And they elevated him to a department supervisor and the whole thing. I'm telling you, that kid is going to end up running for some kind of office or something. And because John played young Obama at our church when he was 8 years old. He's just always been a brilliant kid. You know, when you have children, you're not supposed to say too much positive about one and not saying something positive about the other. My children are great, but I'm just talking about John right now. He's going to do something because he seems to be on the same trajectory as President Obama. Serious, because he's some kind of community spokesman or something for this new job that he has. So we'll see where that takes him. Okay, but some jobs that are hiring, and then I got to go. Listen, Food for Less, Ralph's still hiring. Amazon, they're hiring drivers, and their Whole Foods division is hiring both of them for their warehouses. Costco, hiring. CVS, they're hiring 50,000 people. I believe this across the nation, not just California. Dollar General, like the 99-cent store, that kind of store, right? Dollar General hiring 70,000 people. Lowe's, 30,000 people. Walgreens, 9,500. Walmart, 150,000 people they're hiring. Aldi, right? 5,000 people. Again, Ralph's, Food for Less, 7,000 people. Trader Joe's is hiring. They didn't list the amount. So I mean, if you're looking for employment, people are hiring. Here's a tip. Don't just fill out an application once. Don't fill it out just once. If I were you, I'd do it twice a week. I'd go on there and hammer it, because the issue with filling out something online, it's just data. It's just characters, keyboard characters. It's not you. It's not old school, like where you could go in and happen to run into the manager or an assistant manager or an employee that says, oh, here's an application from a young man, from a young woman that just came in, and yeah, they're pretty sharp. Maybe you want to take a look at this. Maybe you want to, right? It's like you're on the computer. So that just, the more people apply, it just, I guess, pushes yours down. I mean, maybe I'm hallucinating. Maybe I don't understand how the online stacking system works, if you will. But you're just a name. If I were you, I'd do it at least twice a week. Some people are even bolder than that. They'll fill out application Monday, they'll fill out application Wednesday, and they'll fill out application Friday. These are the people that write books, and they talk about, I arrived here at this position, or they tell stories, or they do group talks, or they help, they do, posts or whatever online. This is how I got here. I was persistent. I was diligent. I didn't think about, well, I don't want to keep submitting because the people are going to get mad. They're going to think I'm desperate. See, they don't think that way. They don't have that poverty mindset. You're not desperate. You want a job. And you know that I'm not just going to fill out an application and, oh, they didn't call, so I guess they don't want to hire me. See, we make it personal. They don't even know who you are, right? So what you do is you go on. If they see, this is what I do. If I fill out an application and they sent me an email, Mike Pointer, we hate you. You keep on submitting your application. You only need to do it once, but now we don't like you. Never submit again. Okay, then cool. Then I won't submit anymore then. I'll stop filling out the application. At least I got your attention. I made you look. Ha, 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 right? And you have that kind of work ethic. Guess what? Eventually, somebody's going to hire you. Someone that appreciates a person that is consistently persistent. They'll eventually hire you. That's the work ethic you need to have anyway. It's the only reason I've been in business for 20 years is to hammer it, right? Hammer. And if God could bless you to fill out an app at a place that you like, it's like, man, I'd love to work and feel. See, that would be great. Now you go to work joyfully. Because here's what's going to happen. Almost done. People are going to go back to work when this thing lifts. And they're going to go to work joyfully. They're going to be happy that they have control over their finances again. But sadly, 30 days in, 45 days in, 2 months in, then the smoke is lifting and the haze and maze is over. They're just going to go right back to hating what they do, right back to it. Because they've had probably more than likely more months of hating the job than the layoff that we've had. And they're just going to go right back to it. Just the same feeling of despair and all that. So hopefully you can find something that you love, that you really enjoy doing, and you can apply. But if not, hey, you'll have to do what you need to do out of necessity. But I wanted to run that by you. And friends, please stay encouraged. You know, I'll be honest with you. I was angry at first. They're like, your business isn't essential. But I'm like, oh, so, but my gardener's business is essential. I mean, we love our gardener. We pay him joyfully. But it's like, and just looking, it's like, and they're blowing stuff in the air. Don't you hate when you take a fresh shower and then you walk down the sidewalk and here come the leaf blower, just dirt right back in your face, right? So, but they get to keep their job. Cutting your grass is essential, right? And good for them. Good for them. They get to keep their job. Some of the industries that they don't consider essential, I question it. And, just don't get me started with that because I ruffle feathers with my opinion. But, you can respect other people's opinion, right? And respect it. You don't have to agree with it. Just because you respect it, just because you don't curse them out, I ain't your friend no more, and all that stuff, right? See, you're not going to grow like that. You're not going to grow. Growth is, hey, okay, we have the right to agree. We disagree, right? That whatever that saying is, we agree to disagree. Yeah, okay. But it doesn't mean you agree with the person. It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean that you're too agreeable. I don't agree with your side, but you have every right to your opinion, and I have every right to mine. Not, I don't like you no more. If you do this, if you vote for this person, if you don't vote for that person, you could just unfriend me now. I ain't your. How do you grow like that? How do you grow? That's not growth. That's wicked. No. Some of y'all got broken family relationships because of who you voted for. How dare you? How dare you? And then you claim you're so loving. Yeah, but see, I love people. I just love. No, you don't. You love people, I guess, that agree with everything you say. What kind of narcissistic behavior is that? And some of you can't stand what I'm saying right now, but I'm on my private page. I can say what I want, right? You don't have to, but you ask yourself, when someone disagrees with you and they curse you and they unfriend you and you think, man, that's unfair. Why are they stupid? And you do the same thing. The only way change is going to come in your life is that you say, I got to stop doing other like that. Because guess why? You'll begin to attract a better class of people anyway, that can keep their opinion and you can keep yours. How dare we go through life? Oh, what shallow thinking. Go through life and think everything I say, or mostly everything I say, or the things I think are real important, everybody should agree with. That's crazy, right? got to respect the opinion of other people. Otherwise, your world is just going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And you stay on planet Earth, you're going to get old. You're going to get into your 50s and your 60s and your 70s. And you keep that kind of behavior, your world's just going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And as we go visit some people in the old folks' home, some have had their legs and stuff amputated and the whole thing. My wife mainly doing that kind of missionary work. Some of these people are cold, old, alone, and broke. Their young, vigorous vitality years, they pushed everybody out. They pushed people out. People in many different ways. And one of the ways is getting mad at people and pushing people away. I ain't gonna talk to you no more because they don't agree with what they agree with. It's sad. So when they really need someone to come to their rescue, can you bring me some of this? Can you help me with this? I need somebody to go for my groceries. You know my back is bad. No one's there. Not even their children. Not even their children, because in their young years, when they were younger and they were strong and they had a strong back and they could go get their groceries, and when they could go pay this bill, they could go, see, they push people away. They use their energy in the wrong way. And now they're paying for it. And then they say stuff like, if I'd known I was going to live this long, well, that's what happens sometimes. You do live into your late 70s and your early 80s and some 90s. And wise people are vulnerable enough to say, I'm going to have to do a little bit of growing here. I can't expect everyone to agree with what I agree with. I've got to learn to respect the opinions of others. It is critical. Right? You can argue with it all you want. Stay in your little place. And, I don't care what he say. My point for you. But you'll deal with the reality of having a mind that's very closed and not be, respectful of other people's opinion. All right? So the idea is, I appreciate you for watching. One more thing. Oh gosh, I lost my one more thing because I didn't write it in my notes. I was talking and the left brain was still working. Okay, if it don't hit me, I'll catch you on the next one. But friends, I appreciate you for listening and watching and being interested in growth and personal development. Don't duck your head right now. No, you stay strong. You stand strong. Don't hang in there. If you hang in there, it's like you're hanging from a bar or something, a pull-up bar, and your hand's gonna get real tired, right? You're gonna slip and fall and break your ankle. You don't hang, you stand. Stand on solid ground. Oh, this thing is passing. It'll pass. I know you watch too much TV, doom and gloom. This thing may never go away. Oh, it's gonna go away, and then when it gets cold, it's gonna mutate, and then it's gonna come back, and then who knows what kind of next year. See, it's just doom and gloom, doom and gloom. Right? And America survived so many and thrived through so many different diseases and problems and issues, right? We don't think doom and gloom. Some of you're going to have to tune out. You're going to have to turn away from your radio. And be informed. But you'll notice there's a slant towards doom and gloom, doom and gloom. I wonder how, and then I'm done. I wonder how come they won't talk more about the people that had it and that they're recovered and totally fine now. How come they won't mention these people more, right? Why are they not saying stay away from one of the dirtiest places that you can inhabit along the way on your route, which is public transit and the buses, right? Those are some pretty filthy places because who knows how clean those people are that are on those buses, right? People getting on there, homeless people just riding back and forth. I ain't picking on homeless. It's the truth. They already talked about it. That's why riding was down last summer. Riding on the buses and train and stuff was down because you got people on there attacking people, homeless on there and just attacking people. Yeah, the homeless attacks went way up. People with machetes and knives. And yeah, I talk about it. If your head's in the sand, well, that's on you. But I do my best to stay informed. Right? So nobody's mentioning those things. There are more people, thousands of people that are healing from Rona, that are dying. It's not like it's a death sentence, but the media is not really talking about that, right? There's reasons why, but okay. But we don't get caught up in the doom and gloom, right? So therapists are going to be busy in the months to come. Woo! Is this going to create depression? You're going to see a spike in homelessness from people that lost everything, right? That just took them under because their industry shut down on them. And so, you know, it's coming. It's coming in the recovery. So you stay well. You stay healthy. You keep your mind focused on things that help you enrich your mental garden, not doom and gloom. If you're hanging out with doom and gloom people and they just got negative stuff to say, you do some social distancing, yeah, that was my point, and I'm done. Friends, what a stupid term, social distancing. It's the dumbest thing in the history of mankind. You call it physical distancing, not social, right? Why would we want to socially distance, right? Why would we want to not speak to people and be, some people are using this as an opportunity to be nasty towards others right now. My wife was taking a walk in our beautiful foothills of Altadena where we see the mountains. When I go outside my house, it looks like a postcard when I look north at the mountains, right? But she's walking up the street and somebody's speaking. She does her walk every day. I walk with her. Can't go get in at the gym, right? So she's walking up the street and either she gets in the street so the car can hit her, or she just keeps walking. They'll have to pass each other, right? And the lady sees my wife getting close to her while the cars are speeding by like they want to hit people, right? And the woman hauls and runs across the street, almost in front of the car, just to stay away from my wife. Then stops and raises her hands like, it's supposed to be 6 feet apart. And then some old lady was in the store, right? And just creating like this 6-foot circle around herself, right? Social distancing, remember, lady getting off the elevator, steps off first, and then like puts her hand out to say, don't get too close, even exiting the elevator. There's some wicked people. It's just supporting, right? Their wickedness and their nastiness towards humankind, right? And y'all know it. You see it. You see the wickedness of some, right? So what you want to do is not call it social distancing. You want to call it physical distancing, right? But still be nice. You can still wave. You're going for your walk or you're crossing, and I'm not talking about say hi to people at 2 a.m. in a dark alley. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about it's daylight and it's a safe place you always inhabit. It's okay. It's okay to say hi. It's okay to smile. Yeah, we're all in this together, apart, I know, but it's okay. You don't want social distancing. You don't want physical distancing. Some people in the media are correcting it. All right, friends, thank you for watching. I sure didn't mean to go this long, but I love when I'm able to reach out to the good folks. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, whether if you're at home or out going for a walk or you got to go to the store, you got to go. Please be safe, friends. God bless you and your family and your friends. We will be back, and we're going to come back raging strong. We got to rebuild the economy and rebuild America. And we do a great job at that, don't we? All right, friends, I'll see you real soon. Talk to you shortly.